Been busy too? A couple of days in a row?
Yeah, I was here this morning. Happy to be.
Did well at the A-League. Good stuff. And down in Melbourne? Good?
Well, yeah, it's normally in the middle of winter that, so a lot easier to cram in.
Yeah, well done. Yeah, cool. Hey, Chris, all right? Yeah, good. Yeah, it was pretty cool having our daughters commentate. It was really good.
You're making semis though. It'd be nice to see you do more.
Yeah, well, I think there's a daughter.
You're making semis.
What an awesome goal. Yeah, that was
I didn't know it was going in.
You hit it right. You hit it right. I think you were trying to. Some of those. Up and down and out. Have you got one? So I'm looking up your bag.
Good afternoon from the Village Green. We're not too far away from kick-off, scheduled for 5 p.m. This NPL Women's New South Wales first grade game between University of New South Wales and the Gladesville Ravens. Perfect conditions, mild weather, not a cloud in the sky and barely a breath of wind. We're not too far away from our scheduled 5 p.m. kick-off. Good afternoon from the Village Green. Both teams walking out onto the pitch for this NPL Women's New South Wales first grade game between the as yet undefeated University of New South Wales taking on Gladesville Ravens. It's a matchup between 2nd and 9th on the table, but don't let that deceive you in these early stages of the season. This Gladesville team filled with attacking talent, hoping to make a statement here today against the UNSW team who just want to stay on a roll, having only dropped points once so far this season, winning 5 of their first 6 games. It is UNSW in their home colours of yellow and black, and Gladesville instead of the black and white stripes today in the all blue. And both teams lining up to face the camera here in the afternoon sun on an otherwise perfect day here at the Village Green. Let's get to the teams and have a look at the lineups And we start with the home side, University of New South Wales. Their goalkeeper, Erin Naylor, 5, Leah Puxty, 6, Aya Yamahata, 7, Poppy Channing, 8, Demi Kulizakis, 9, Lexi Moreno, 10, Chloe Smith, 16, Sky Kasakia, 17, Angela Christodoulou, 18, Georgia Plessis, and 24, Milan Hammond. On the bench for UNSW, 13, Sonali Singh, 14, Leah Burton, 21, Jennifer Kokoris, 29, Daniela Nakari, 77, Sienna Namovsky, and number 99, Dimitra Vase. For the Gladesville Ravens, they're coming off a midweek cup tie against Apia Leichhardt, which they lost 1-0. And they have a couple of key changes from their most recent league game, notably no Eliza Coleman in goal today. So the number 18, Michaela Kent, is between the sticks. Number 4, Keisha Allen, 6, Gisela Pepino, 8, Annie Halls, 10, Hannah McNulty, 11, Morgan Roberts, 12, Angelina Scamadella, 14, Teal Kilbride, 19, Lena Karmas, 36, Laura Murtagh, and 39, Miku Sunaga. On the bench for Gladesville, the number 2 goalkeeper today is 44, Molly Ewer, and then 3, Annabelle Dashko, 7, Cora Villa, 13, Brianna Buccini, 17, Kaylee Shannon, 21, Natalie Sproul, and 42, Alethea Levy. So Gladesville picked up only the 7 competition points so far this season, but they have been full of goals, 10-4, 11 against, and UNSW still pursuing Apia, who've already wrapped up a 2-0 win earlier today against Sydney Olympic, so they need the win to keep pace at the top of the league. They've scored 17 and conceded just 4. Today's referee is Volkan Akdan. And both teams are posing for team photos here before kickoff. So last season, UNSW won the most recent clash, 3-1 here at the Village Green. Now, 2 of the 3 players in the starting lineup today, Aya Yamahata and Georgia Plessis, were among the scorers. And it was a 2-2 draw about a year ago, back in May, when Lexi Moreno scored a double, and it was Sonali Singh, one of the goal scorers, still at UNSW. So the recent form does favour Uni. We'll see how this evening shakes out. The lights are on, but there's still enough natural light as we kick off 5 p.m. local time, or 5:05 p.m. now for those of you watching interstate or overseas. And we're underway at the Village Green for this round 7 clash in NPL Women's New South Wales. And right from kick-off, the ball has been given away, and Gisela Pepino playing it through the right side for Laura Murtagh. An early ball into the box, and quick as you like, barely 10 seconds on the clock. It's an early corner for Gladesville, and if they wanted to make a fast start, it couldn't have gone much better for them there. Going over to take the corner is Gisela Pepino, one of the top scorers for Gladesville so far this season, having moved across from Apia Leichhardt, her and Lena Karmas with 3 goals each. She's wasting no time over the corner here. Left foot in at the near post and headed away by Milan Hammond, out for a second corner. So Gladesville staying on the attack. Plenty of numbers committed forward too. UNSW have left Georgia Plessis up near the halfway line. So they've got 10 defenders in the penalty area. Here comes the second corner. This one is going to be met on the volley, but it's scooped up and under by Morgan Robertson, out for an early goal kick. So a couple of corners, but neither of them particularly menacing. And UNSW now get a chance to get a feel for the ball and a feel for the game other than kick off. They've barely touched the ball so far. Milan Hammond over on the left touchline, trying to get a run at Roberts. Both teams think it's their ball, but the point goes the home side's way. They're attacking the southern end of the ground in this first half. Well, Gladesville are attacking to the northern end or the Randwick Racecourse end. Here's Yamahata on the ball. Through the left, asking a bit too much of Puxty. Now the goalkeeper, Michaela Kent. Big day for her as she comes in between the sticks. Midfield battle. Gisela Pepino, a little sidestep, but two players right on her case. Sky Kasakia spilling possession. And then Demi Kulizakis playing it over to Lexi Moreno. Long ball, straight onto the head of Teal Kilbride. Mopping up possession for Gladesville, Annie Halls. Pepino trying for a switch of flanks, but Angelique Christodoulou has the angles covered and plays it back to Erin Naylor in goal. It was a entertaining 2-2 draw in the earlier game, the under-23s between the two sides. Gladesville led 2-0 only for a late UNSW comeback to grab a share of the spoils. Hammond taking on Roberts. Can't make any headway over on the wing, so Hammond turns back and waits for an option to present. Kulizakis. Quick 1-2 with Puxty, and now Kulizakis, a scooped cross. And a chase for the ball. And it's knocked away from Plessis, out for a goal kick. Could be a potentially big day for Annabelle Dashko coming off the bench. Her comeback from an ACL continuing. And it does mean in her absence that Keisha Allen remains at centre-back, and Scamadella has started at left-back today for the Gladesville Ravens alongside Teal Kilbride here. Kulizakis. Just mindful of Lena Karmas lurking, looking to hunt a back pass, so played it square. Christodoulou able to work her way through midfield, holding off Pepino now. Two former Apia teammates battling against each other. Hammond's pass, twisted back by Chloe Smith, but intercepted by Halls. And then her pass picked off by Kulizakis. Demi Kulizakis doesn't fancy a long shot here, wants to slide it through the left channel. And Morgan Roberts back guarding on the right. Able to defend and see the ball away. Quick throw in here. Moreno takes possession. Swings onto her left foot. Kilbride, a little half volley. Got to be careful at the edge of the box. Chloe Smith, and now Kulizakis shoots. And hooks it just wide to the left, bouncing past the post. First shot in anger for UNSW. The scoreboard clock hasn't started here, so keep an eye on the stream for those of you watching. Just over 5 minutes ticked by. Sonaga being guarded by Poppy Channing. Knocks the ball back to Keisha Allen. Here is Angelina Scamadella with a pass to McNulty. Now Sonaga from the base of midfield. Intercepted by Sky Kasakia. Now Aya Yamahata. Channing advancing, and then Christodoulou has to double back but keeps the ball in. Erin Naylor looking out to the left side. Puxty has to take a step back in order to just lose the attention of Laura Murtagh over on the wing. Kasakia being pressed by Pepino, but has Yamahata there to help out. Hugging the line. Puxty now in a tight window. Stuck between two Gladesville players, and They extract the ball. Halls concedes a little bit of ground. Roberts down the sideline, and it finds its way out. Channing looking for a change of direction. This time connects with Ristadulu, but again the press from Gladesville is keeping UNSW honest here. Ristadulu, Scamadella put a foot on the ball, but through come Uni through Plessis, and now Chloe Smith keeps it moving out to the right. Ristadulu, first time cross, and Keisha Allen able to volley away. Scamadella with a header. A touch from Halls, pass into a cluster of midfield players. Kasakia, and now Moreno. Disguised the pass very nicely to Plessis, and Puxty joining the attack, pushing up from left back, just losing touch on the ball. Karmas, can she lead a counter here? McNulty and Lena Karmas bustling through, but a heavy touch gives the ball to Aya Yamahata. Well, Puxty's pass is going to take some chasing here. Channing keeps it in, right in front of the Football New South Wales photographer. Here's Ristadulu, Kasakia, Moreno. First time ball to Ristadulu was a nice one. Now Plessis, and out comes Keisha Allen with a good block tackle and is able to win a throw-in with the aid of a deflection off the advancing Plessis. Scamadella down the line. Channing returns it, and it'll rear up off the surface here. Good contest in the air from Chloe Smith, but no teammates in the vicinity to make the most of a hard-won header. Now Kilbride right up the middle, hoping for Karmas, but Kasakia in the road. Pepino battling Kulazakis. Hammond just dawdled on the ball and has been caught in possession, and now Ravens can look to go for the short counter, but it bobbles up in front of Yamahata, who is able to knock it back to Erin Naylor and reset. Channing, an aggressive touch, able to get through a very tight window. And Ristadulu's pass, however, is misplaced. Sunaga. And McNulty very trusting that the assistant referee would agree that it was last touch off UNSW and give Gladesville the throw-in. Moreno trying to turn her way out of trouble, and well, almost did, but the pass found Pepino rather than a teammate. Sunaga, Channing, and now Yamahata plays the pass to Chloe Smith. Good centre forward play to lay off for Kulazakis. Decision time, wants to find Chloe Smith again. It's a good outside of the foot pass, and Smith lashes a left-footed shot just wide of the target, and perhaps always bending wide in the end, but from this angle in the grandstand it did look promising off the boot. And UNSW are starting to put together some slick passing moves here, and they can move the ball. Gladesville quite aggressive in the press, and it is, once UNSW play through it, allowing them to open up the attacking third. Moreno holds off Halls. Hammond. Milan Hammond attracting a crowd. Pepino wins the ball away, and then a foul for her trouble from Kasakia, who argues that Pepino had committed a foul of her own first, but not to be. Gladesville again committing plenty of numbers forward As the sun sets, it's starting to become a bit of a cooler evening here, so expect the tempo to stay high. Certainly the summer feeling when NPL kicks off hasn't been present today. It's a far milder day. Good conditions for the teams here on the synthetic. Channing. Christodoulou. Moreno. Christodoulou and Plessis. The passing triangle just comes unstuck. Christodoulou in on Sunaga, who gets back to her feet and is able to draw a throw in from Plessis. Moreno, first header on the end of the throw in. Smith, back to Moreno. Goes for a diagonal ball, sets Milland Hammond to task. Morgan Roberts is able to intercept, but Puxty is following up here, dragging Murtagh into the defensive half. A collision between three players, no whistle though, play continues at the feet of Hammond. Yamahata caught in possession. I can tell you that the scoreboard clock here at the Village Green has now caught up to the game clock. Almost ticked up to the 15-minute mark. Goalless so far. Moreno. Smith. Laying it out to the right, but Scamadella has position on Plessis and is able to clear out for a throw in. And the wind has picked up ever so slightly, but the corner flags are blowing in different directions at each end of the ground. So just swirly here at the Village Green to this point of the game. Moreno has really made a bright start to the game, but McNulty is able to rob the ball from her here. And McNulty trying to launch a counter-attack, blocked by Kasakia. Follow-up from Halls. Kasakia. Two of the primary ball-winning players just knocking it back and forth to each other, but they're in opposite teams. Here's Puxty. Back to Channing. Channing with a through ball, looking to hit the channels, and it's promising here for Koulazakis, and in at the near post. Great goal from Chloe Smith. Koulazakis with the assist, and it was a defence-splitting pass from Poppy Channing that set Koulazakis away, and the assist was just as good, curling in at the near post, and Chloe Smith has finished to make it UNSW 1, Gladesville 0. And that is Chloe Smith's fourth goal of the season, which now makes her the outright top scorer for UNSW. She was in a three-way tie with Alexia Kalaris-Stahl and Demi Koulazakis coming into today's game, but strike number 4 of the campaign for the centre forward. And even though Ravens may have had 2 corners to open proceedings, the game has largely been on UNSW's terms in the 15 minutes since. So the away team in desperate need of a response here, because UNSW have looked on today. Sweeping cross here as Gladesville look for the instant reply, but it's going to drift out for a goal kick. And with some of the passing moves and confidence that they've had in their teammates, UNSW, it's not surprising that such a flowing move was able to find the opening goal today. 2 months into the season, and you can see some real cohesion among one of the title favourites. I imagine some, if not all of the team, would have been aware that Apia did take care of business in a 2:15 kickoff much earlier this afternoon against Sydney Olympic. Here's Lexi Moreno. Back to Channing at the centre of defence. Christodoulou. Smith, first time ball. And Scamadella guarding Plessis over on the wing. Moreno. Plessis. And McNulty's fighting hard over on this left side of midfield for Gladesville. Lena Karmas just starved and isolated at the moment. We know that she's a deadly striker, but a bit of a lone hand up top for Gladesville at present, being starved of the ball. Here's Puxty. Now Hammond. Christodoulou. Channing tries to measure another pass and finds Plessis, and her shadow at the moment is Scarmadella, able to knock the ball off her feet, but it's regained here by Yamahata. Hammond. Kulizakis chasing, and Roberts, well, the clearance doesn't make it to the sideline. Hammond seizes upon the ball and deflected off Annie Halls out of the area, but Moreno is right there for the home side, and a vicious whipping cross, but Hall's able to deflect it away. Pepino. Channing comes across. Touchback from Chloe Smith. Now Christodoulou. Moreno drops the shoulder. Left-footed cross and half-volleyed away by Keisha Allen. Pepino. Karmas. Channing right on her case and knocks the ball over to Kulizakis. Uncompromising defending at the moment from UNSW. They're starting to really turn this into a half-field game. And Gladesville, they've got speed. They just need to release some of their speedsters on the counter. They can't do it at the moment. So, a goal kick here, taken by Michaela Kent. Kasakia. Hammond. Running at Roberts, and Morgan Roberts able to win the ball away. Hits the line, deflects off shins, and Roberts now has clean passage, and perhaps this is where Gladesville can launch a counter. Puxty able to step in, crunch Roberts and send the ball forward, but Smith is offside here. The goalkeeper trapped beyond the defensive line. Well, the sun is now dipped below the skyline here, so the artificial light is going to need to take over for the remainder of the afternoon. 20 minutes gone in this first half. Gladesville find themselves down in their attacking half. Not committing quite as many numbers as they were forward earlier in the game. Here's Murtagh to the edge of the box. A deflected cross. Pepino trying to turn and shoot, but Channing right on her case. And now cleared away by Channing. Kulizakis. Ball finds its way all the way up to Teal Kilbride. Kilbride drops the ball into the area, and Naylor able to hold on one bounce. Channing slides a pass to Moreno. Here's Scamadella venturing forward, the left back. A teasing cross. Yamahata almost towards goal. And Naylor dives in at the feet of Karmas. And then pressing, Sunaga knocks it out for a goal kick. But one of the best chances so far for Gladesville. Potential risk of an own goal there off Aya Yamahata. And Lena Karmas was trying to steal in with those goal-scoring instincts. But Erin Naylor making herself big, able to block the chance away. Maybe a shift in momentum. Gladesville coming into the game as they seek an equaliser. Here's Scamadella. Kasakia, back pass. Naylor clears. Plessis. Moreno, little drag step, trying to open up some space against Halls, but Halls wasn't outfoxed, knew exactly where the ball was going. Sees it over the line, and UNSW have the throw in. Plessis. Scamadella with the throw in. Pepino. McNulty. Great little sidestep to open up a yard of space. But the cross is blocked away by Channing. And then a second cross just low, scuffed along the synthetic surface and picked up by Naylor. Quick overarm throw out to Puxty on the left. Puxty tries to thread the eye of the needle to Chloe Smith. Very nearly pulled it off. Smith's touch intercepted away by Keisha Allen. Now Murtagh. Karmas brings the ball down, but no one able to rove in onto the crumbs. And Pepino fells Moreno for a free kick in midfield. Sunaga given away. Puxty back to Moreno. Here's Hammond. Moreno again. Crossfield pass, sees Christodoulou in space. McNulty is going to stand off and let Christodoulou swing the cross up. Attempted volley from Hammond, but no real acceleration from the shot. And just looping off the surface into the gloves of Kent. Channing with the header. Long ball through the right. Pepino racing against the line, is able to run the ball down and now cut it back. Roberts getting forward in support. And now UNSW defenders close in. Kouazakis trusting that that was going to be flagged as a goal kick, and indeed it is. Moreno trying to turn out of a jam. Halls extracts the ball. Long back pass, though, all the way down to Kent. Kilbride finds Pepino with the pass. All in a bit of a hurry. Murtagh to Roberts. A bending ball, which Channing will send back to Naylor. And Channing will misplaces the pass this time, missing Christodoulou. Scamadella takes the throw in quickly. Christodoulou steps up to intercept. Smith isolated up top, headed away by Allen. Halls, Pepino. Oh, great step on the ball, Pepino. And, well, there was a grab of the shirt in there, and the referee does whistle for it. Gisela Pepino turning out of trouble and then seemingly giving the ball away, but coming back for the shirt grab there. Scamadella. Kilbride. Roberts being chased by Chloe Smith here. She's going to wait for Smith to get goal-sided now. Play the pass to Pepino. Sunaga. Out to Scamadella. She's going to hustle here against the line, but runs it down. Sweeps a pass up to Karmas. Karmas trying to roll her marker. Pepino. In comes Christodoulou. And Channing clears away. Gladesville starting to show us what they can do, though. Looking a lot better in the attacking half now. Scamadella landing it at the penalty spot. Naylor's missed the ball. Collected the attacker there. Yamahata bounces back to her feet. And Pepino going for a long shot, and it's tipped over the bar. Well, even with a fallen teammate inside the penalty area, Pepino fancied her chances from distance, and Erin Naylor is able to parry it out for a corner kick. And now, the concern here turns to Lena Karmas, who's managed to sit up. Karmas still on her haunches. The trainer isn't coming out, though. She's able to get up under her own steam.
Boys play well.
So the end result, with Karmas now back up and walking, is a corner for Gladesville. After a really good save from Erin Naylor. Hannah McNulty to take the corner. McNulty to the back post, and the header is cleared off the line by Yamahata. So close for Laura Murtagh, and it's out for a corner on the opposite side. Oh, Gladesville closing in on an equaliser here. Pepino wasting no time over the corner on the opposite side, and this time it's a confident claim from Naylor, and that's going to calm things down a bit for the UNSW defence. Christodoulou 1-2 with Smith. Puxty, Hammond, an awkward bounce to try and bring under control. Eventually she does. Back heel, finds Puxty. The attack continues. Chloe Smith bumped off the ball, and out it goes from Keisha Allen. underneath the long ball. Yamahata not able to read it initially, but Kasakia getting back, helping out. Pepino, block tackle, followed up by Halls. Karmas, well, overhit the pass. And that's keeper's ball. Gladesville continuing to look dangerous and have really grown into the game now. Christodoulou over the head of Allen. Smith read it well, and across comes Kilbride, able to knock the ball over towards the line where there's backspin keeping it in. Scamadella, and last touch is off Chloe Smith, despite her protestations. Down the line from Scamadella. Channing around the corner from Kasakia. Channing to Christodoulou. Inside for Plessis. Christodoulou into a gap. Kasakia. Plessis swinging onto her left side. Tries to drill across to the edge of the box, but it's been intercepted. Pepino. Karmas has come into the defensive half, and the layoff was seized upon by Yamahata. Now Lexi Moreno. She's going to try and lob the keeper, but doesn't get under the ball with enough force, and it just tamely bounces into Michaela Kent's arms. Moreno is going to shoot from distance again, and this time a bit more elevation, but still bouncing into the keeper's gloves inside the 6-yard box. Maybe it'll be third time lucky if Gladesville cough up the ball again. Channing. Pass meets Christodoulou in stride. Christodoulou, Chloe Smith, Halls, still Christodoulou. Left-footed shot blocked away by Kilbride, and the follow-up from Kulizakis requires a save. Goalkeeper Kent saw it all the way, but still had to get down to save a shot on target. High clearance to the halfway line. Yamahata finds Moreno. Christodoulou. Plessis. Moreno pulling the strings in this first half. Happy to leave the ball with Channing. Channing now finds Plessis. Georgia Plessis. He's going to shoot from distance. Well, they're peppering at the moment, UNSW, but nothing that's really raising the heart rate of goalkeeper Michaela Kent. She's made some fairly conventional saves in the last couple of minutes, but the chances are starting to flow with regularity. Feels like if UNSW can create one really good one, they might be on the way to doubling their lead. Gladesville need to recognise the danger. Pepino. Intercepted by Yamahata. Christodoulou. Plessis back to Channing. Channing out to the right. Christodoulou. And that is just going to stay on the line. It never found its way out. Christodoulou chased it down, whips it across, and Smith trying to turn a volley round the corner. Sent it well wide in the end. And that was nearly something out of nothing. It was a ball that looked like it was rolling out for a throw-in, and it just kept twisting and twisting, spinning along the synthetic sideline, and it never went out. And so Christodoulou went and ran it down. Hammond, a solid header. Keisha Allen back into an aerial duel. Christodoulou, Smith with a 1-2. Angelique Christodoulou, free kick, shooting range. And I think Gisela Pepino knew that when she got into the back of Christodoulou's legs, it was always going to be a free kick. Gave herself up there. And this is now red alert for Gladesville because the momentum, they had it at about the half an hour mark, but it has really swung back UNSW's way. And now Lexi Moreno, who's had an excellent game so far, can really take it to the next level with a goal here. 4 in the wall. Michaela Kent waiting on the goal line. Lexi Moreno to strike the free kick left-footed. It's Moreno, and didn't dip it in time. Promising trajectory on the ball, but just started it a little high, and it dipped late, aiming for the top right corner. Plessis, Koulazakis, and a little overzealous from Koulazakis as she pushes over Miku Sanaga. Roberts back to Kilbride. Only as far as Puxty, who volleys into the middle. Moreno knew that Kasakia was making a run. Now Hammond rolls her defender. Milad Hammond takes the shot. It deflects over to Christodoulou. The attack continues. Christodoulou cross-deflected away. And now Kasakia takes a touch, but showed too much of the ball to Sunaga. Gladesville dicing with danger there, but they had just enough players get back into the penalty area to cover in the nick of time. Moreno working wide. Hard against the line, and the line wins. Gladesville ball. Moreno, sweeping diagonal ball. Hammond, full of speed here. Scabadella trying to match her. Hammond takes possession. The cutback. And a volley from Plessis, and picked up inside the 6-yard box by Kent. Just became a little bit busy with the number of players chasing after the ball there. Here's Channing. UNSW with 5 minutes of regulation to go in the first half are really turning up the heat here. Trying to put a gap in the game. Channing. Koulazakis. Yamahata pumps it over to the left wing, and Keisha Allen with energy goes to ground and puts the ball out. Puxty. That cross a little bit narrow, too close to the goalkeeper. None of her UNSW teammates advancing onto it. Christodoulou able to find a gap to play it to Yamahata. Moreno. Sidestep and then a pass out to the left. Puxty cuts it back. Plessis against Roberts, and Morgan Roberts, well, a shallow clearance seized upon by Koulazakis. Christodoulou and Hammond. A quick 1-2. Sweeping ball from Hammond. And now Moreno. this is going to be attempt number 3 from distance, and perhaps compensating for the 2 which fell short earlier in the half. That one a lot more elevation, but roosted high and wide. Just falling off balance over to her left there as she let fly with that shot, Moreno. Can Gladesville strike back against the run of play? Sunaga. Murtagh making a run, and Naylor able to come out and collect, and well protected the ball there by Leah Puxty to just stifle the run of Murtagh and allow Naylor to come out and claim. Channing to Christodoulou. Gladesville, with only a couple of minutes to go in the half, are going to dial the press back up, commit some numbers forward. Pepino. Little side steps were clever. Sunaga has got 2 defenders right on her case down in the corner, and ultimately yields possession, going the way of UNSW. Moreno takes possession. Smith off and running. Cuts inside Keisha Allen. Now waiting for support to arrive. Hammond darts away from Scamadella and a cross that burns through the 6-yard box, but eventually cleared by Roberts. It almost beat every defender, but Roberts able to read it best. Yamahata to the left sideline. Plessis, Puxty, Kasakia, Channing, Christodoulou. Puxty has drifted all the way across to the right side of the pitch and plays back to Poppy Channing. Into stoppage time at the end of the first half. It's been a brisk one. Channing's pass out in front of Puxty, who's remained over on the right here. The ball finds its way out. Referee takes a look at the watch. No 4th official today. I think he's signalled 1 minute to the benches. Doesn't hurt to keep an eye on the referee at or around the 45-minute mark if we don't have a 4th official. So time the enemy here of UNSW. Can they double their lead before the break? Hammond across. Plessis, a flying shot and not enough pace behind it. Sweeping across the top of the penalty area there, but Kent down to save. Will that be the last chance of the first half for either team? Sunaga with a header on. Pepino trying to nick around Yamahata, and then the backtracking Kasakia comes in to help out. Kasakia finds Christodoulou. And the halftime whistle goes, so the home side looking good. 1-0 up only, though. Gladesville did have a 5-minute spell midway through the half where they looked particularly dangerous. A good save from Erin Naylor, and then chances at a corner. But ultimately, it is a goal from Chloe Smith on the end of a cross from Demi Koulazakis that is the difference between the two teams at half-time. And UNSW, well, were prolific in the number of chances they created, and maybe will feel that they should have done more than score once in that half. There is still a job to be done as things stand, the second place team is going to be keeping pace with Apia at the top of NPL Women's New South Wales. We'll take a halftime break for about 10 minutes, and when we return, live action from the second half here at the Village Green. For now, though, the halftime score is University of New South Wales 1, leading the Gladesville Ravens 0. Back to the Village Green, not far away from getting the second half started in this NPL Women's New South Wales Round 7 game. UNSW leading Gladesville 1-0 thanks to a Chloe Smith goal. Not for a lack of attacking intent from both teams. Could have been plenty more to the score. Gladesville with chances of their own. And as we get ready to start the second half, it's going to be Gladesville attacking the left of your screens or the southern end here at the Village Green in the second 45. Can they find a goal? They have, for the most part, been a regular scoring team this season. 10 goals in their first 6 games, as opposed to UNSW, who have now rattled in 18. Here's Gisela Pepino attacking right from kickoff. And Angelina Scarmadella playing it back to Keisha Allen, doing a quick head check around the pitch. No fourth official for this game, so any subs I will have to, through process of elimination, bring you up to speed on who came on and went off. Annie Dashko has come on here for the second half, though, in the number 3 shirt, and here she is on the ball now for Gladesville. Playing it back to Miku Sanaga. Now Morgan Roberts. And here's Dashko again, getting a few early touches. She's coming in a midfield role here, so Keisha Allen has stayed in the centre of defence. Teal Kilbride with the clearance. Bouncing up towards Lena Karmas, but cleared away. Now Poppy Channing plays the pass to Sky Kasakia. Angelique Christodoulou. Looks like Annie Halls was the player who made way at half-time via process of elimination here for Gladesville Ravens. So a straight swap in midfield in the centre of the park. Here's Puxty squeezing a pass through to the goal scorer, Chloe Smith. Her 4th of the season in the first half separates the teams. And now Angelique Christodoulou, an early ball to the edge of the box. Puxty had managed to invert and come into the middle, but not able to defend from the front. Angelina Scamadella plays it across to Annie Dashko, and she's going to send a pass well to Morgan Robertson. She was nearly away, Roberts, but disappointment as the ball deflects out for a throw-in. So looking at the UNSW team, it is the same 11 for them that started the game. Lexi Moreno on the ball here. Really busy in the first half. The only thing missing was the finishing touch. She had 3 shots from open play, all from outside the box, that failed to really cause any headaches, and then a free kick as well that was perhaps the most threatening of any of her attempts on goal, but ultimately still went high and wide of the target. So UNSW with Erin Naylor in goal, Aya Yamahata standing next to Poppy Channing at centre back, Leah Puxty at left back, Angelique Christodoulou at right back, Sky Kasakia, Demi Koulazakis and Lexi Moreno in midfield, and then a front 3 of Milan Hammond on the right, Georgia Plessis on the left, and Chloe Smith up top. We'll run through the Gladesville lineup at the next break in play. Right now, Gisela Pepino is playing the ball to Morgan Roberts in a tangle against the line. Gladesville want to take the throw in quickly, and they do. Pepino, quick head check for what's on. Puxty barging back, and too physical from Leah Puxty. She argues her case to the referee Volkan Akdan, but the decision is made. Free kick going the way of Gladesville. Hannah McNulty setting the ball. The scoreboard extremely bright to the naked eye as we look across to it at the right of your screens, and the ball is going to lure out the goalkeeper, and Naylor's done well to clear to Moreno, and Moreno felled by Dashko, but no free kick, so play continues. Scamadella to the edge of the box, flick header on, and trying to turn and shoot. Blocked away. Goalkeeper might have been out of the equation, but the defenders weren't. And that is excellent committed defending from UNSW to foil Lena Karmas, and Gladesville looking dangerous. Another big chance for Gladesville. They've had a few now pursuing an equaliser in this game. Kilbride. Dashko. Back to Keisha Allen. Kilbride with a long ball. Laura Murtagh often chasing. Puxty loops it over the shoulder and then clears it away from Murtagh. Gladesville, just like the first half, they're trying to press, they're trying to keep the tempo high in these opening exchanges, but can they sustain it for a long enough period of time to grab themselves a goal? Roberts with the throw-in. Knocked away by Kasakia. Kilbride. Pass was a little narrow. Plessis takes possession, and as it goes out of Pepino, the Gladesville team, Michaela Kent in goal, centre backs Teal Kilbride and Keisha Allen, right back Morgan Roberts, and left back Angelina Scamadella. In midfield, Annie Dashko, Gisela Pepino and Miku Sanaga. And the front 3 is Laura Murtagh on the ball here, Lena Karmas. And over on the opposite side, Hannah McNulty. Sanaga with the flick header on. Karmas tried to separate herself. Sanaga blazes away. McNulty chasing the loose ball. Really hooked there from Sanaga. Wasn't the most acute of angles, but maybe a right footer on the right side. Just not able to twist it back towards the target. Struck it true across the area instead. Scamadella taking the game on. Busts a par through. Pepino with a big deflection. It might fall kindly here. Murtagh. And round the keeper, but into the side netting on a very tight angle. Erin Naylor made the initial save, and the ball just didn't go out. It sat up right next to the post. And it proved too tough an angle for Laura Murtagh to strike in. But this has been Gladesville's half so far. And UNSW are just trying to control the tempo here and take the sting out of the game. Their 1-0 lead very much in jeopardy at the moment. Dashko has come on and made a real impact. That pass, though, will be seized upon by Yamahata. Puxty trying to split the defence with a pass to Smith. Smith strikes it first time, and it was always going across the face. Did the goalkeeper get a touch? She did. So Michaela Kent diving after that off-target shot. Goalkeeper perhaps wasn't to know. We were watching it now on the angle that told us where the ball was going, but the goalkeeper perhaps not to know in the heat of the moment. Corner kick here, UNSW. Haven't done much attacking in this second half, and this would be a hammer blow if they can double their lead right here. Plessis with the corner, and Moreno's header slides across the face of goal, and will be swept up here by Kilbride. Getting chased, though, and the clearance was affected by the presence of Chloe Smith. Kasakia. Puxty. Yamahata. Puxty playing it back to Yamahata. Here's Murtagh. And Dashko. Murtagh again. Karmas. Lena Karmas turning. Crunched late. And the referee watching play unfold. But seemingly no intent to give a foul, was perhaps more just monitoring if Demi Koulizakis was able to get up under her own steam straight away. So a legal tackle on Lena Karmas, but she bounced up far quicker of the two. It was the tackler, Koulizakis, who's a little bit sorer in getting back up. Scarmadella takes the throw in. Sunaga to Pepino. Channing backtracking in earnest. Nicks the ball around McNulty and clears and spots up a pass nicely down the right sideline. Kasakia back to Channing. Channing again. Moreno laying it back once more. Trying to engineer a switch of direction here, UNSW, but it's straight back out to the right flank due to the sharpness of the back pass to Naylor. And now, maybe it is going to happen for them with the aid of a deflection, because Puxty plays it off to Yamahata, and the left flank is where they wanted to go, and UNSW now, through Plessis, can attack into a bit of open space. The pass is just a little underhit, though. Out comes Kilbride. Here goes Murtagh. Karmas calling for the early ball, and it doesn't quite have the elevation on it. In comes Channing to intercept. Plays the pass to Plessis. Plessis able to find a way through Roberts. UNSW away, though. Plessis biting her run. Cuts inside and now tries to clip it on, and it's just going to roll down to the goalkeeper. Smith. Back to Moreno. Pepino. It's really end-to-end at the moment. It's been a game played with a degree of intensity that belies Gladesville's 9th place ladder position here. They're desperate for an equaliser here. Pepino. Back to Murtagh. Swings it across and blocked down and cleared comfortably enough. Kasakia back helping out the defence there. Kilbride to Dashko. Now Keisha Allen. Scarmadella. Good pass, and then Sunaga tried to relay it on, but just didn't strike it firmly enough. Puxty wins it back, and now Kasakia. Hammond able to sweep onto the ball here. Has Scarmadella Cuts inside, Milan Hammond shooting from distance. And it always slid wide and looked like it was heading wide early doors, but Hammond deciding to just go direct on that occasion. Kulizakis lifts the ball out to Chloe Smith on the left. Smith, left-footed cross, and it's going to bounce through the penalty area and out. So UNSW just starting to wrestle back some balance in general play. Karmas, Pepino, McNulty, and out steps Yamahata to intercept the ball. Channing waited for an opening. Kulizakis was it. Christodoulou in midfield. Now Moreno switching back, and Kulizakis has found space here. To the left flank she goes, and hard against the line. It just plugged in the turf, but it didn't stay in. Roberts did enough to put off Plessis and usher the ball out for a goal kick. So we're getting closer to the hour mark here. Neither team has their bench warming up. All the subs are currently seated, so maybe we won't get the customary subs at the hour mark. We've only had the one change in the game so far, and that was made at half-time. Moreno over to Christodoulou. Hammond, Kasakia, and in space all on her own here is Plessis. Can she steady and cross to a teammate? Oh, it's been fumbled across the line, and it stayed out and looked for a heart-stopping second there, like it might have fallen in after the touch at the near post from the goalkeeper and broke through the hands, but fortunately for Gladesville did not end up in the net, and it was swept away and cleared on the opposite side of the box. Christodoulou. Pepino battling against Kasakia. Ooh, late shove from Kasakia, and the referee was able to spot it in the moment and pay the free kick. Hammond, Moreno. All of the UNSW subs have now been sent to go and warm up. Roberts, got to be careful of a handball in that situation, but the referee immediately pointing to the midriff, saying there was nothing untoward about how the ball was knocked back to the goalkeeper. Pepino with a header. Karmas tries to knock it to her own advantage, but across comes Christodoulou. Now Murtagh. Didn't quite shape the pass, and so Puxty intercepts. Sees Smith leading the line. Chloe Smith over to Lexi Moreno. Got to be careful of the backtracking McNulty. Christodoulou to the edge of the box. Plessis, first time shot, and it had some resemblance to her attempt in the first half. On the right foot, twisting at the edge of the box and just tumbling with a couple of bounces down to the goalkeeper. Pepino. Sunaga trying to pick a gap and couldn't find it. Moreno spins on the ball. Plessis nearly for Chloe Smith. Intercepted by Till Kilbride, who stepped out to win possession away. Dashko. And Kilbride to Murtagh. And instead of a throw-in, it will be a free kick going the way of Gladesville for a foul by Leah Puxty. Dashko takes the free kick quickly. Yamahata flies out in front of Karmas to win the header, but only as far as McNulty. Popped into the box. Karmas flags up. And the ball hit the post regardless. It wouldn't have counted though. And offside the call against Lena Karmas there. Gladesville continuing to throw plenty at this UNSW defence, but they haven't been able to find a way to breach it yet. Not even on an offside play. Brought down by Moreno. Kulizakis. Plessis. Early ball, and well, whether it was a mishit cross or a sneak attack, and wasn't able to get the better of Michaela Kent. Plonk tackle. Ball loops over to Keisha Allen. Gladesville got to be careful here. UNSW's turn to really press them high. Scarmadella. And an energetic clearance from Christodoulou. It's going to bend and stay in here, so it has to be retrieved deep down at left back by Angelina Scarmadella. Headed by Kulizakis. Moreno flicking on. Roberts first to the ball and keeps it away from Plessis by switching out to the sideline. Yamahata. High Yamahata's ball. Chloe Smith, the header sliding on. And it's going to be taken down in the left back corner by Scarmadella. Switches onto her right side to clear. Only as far as Kasakia. Christodoulou backtracking. Now up steps Channing. Pass from Yamahata. Moreno left it for Christodoulou. Cleverly so. Christodoulou, and the cross bounces in the box. Plessis! And that's a firmly struck attempt, but straight at the goalkeeper. Kent makes the save. Best attempt on goal that Plessis has had so far in the game, but denied by the goalkeeper for a third time in this match now. The first two were definitely ones you'd expect the keeper to save 1,000 times out of 1,000, but that could have been a little bit more awkward. Here's Pepino sliding a ball to McNulty, and across comes Channing and makes the tackle. It looked like it was opening up there for the Gladesville Ravens, but Poppy Channing got across and cleared it away. Moreno. Moreno over to Kulizakis again. UNSW's passing game. Just moving and advancing the ball. Puxty first time. And now Kilbride comes across to interrupt, but only briefly. It'll be a throw-in for the home side. Kulizakis working with Puxty. And now Plessis, hard against the line, twists across in, and a good confident claim from the goalkeeper Kent. And that's with Hammond steaming in behind her, but no contact between attacker and goalkeeper. And now in the flash at the other end, Pepino is legged, and we're going to see the first yellow card of the game. And it was Gisela Pepino trying to escape at top speed, but she was knocked over there. And so Sky Kasakia goes into the referee's book as the first player to receive a yellow card from either team. And she'll have to watch her step the defensive midfielder here for the rest of the evening. Here comes the resulting free kick. No time wasted. Falls in the penalty box and roosted away. No nonsense clearance coming from Demi Koulizakis. And then Koulizakis again just slams the right foot through the ball, repelling the Ravens. Roberts, Puxty against Murtagh. Roberts to Karmas. Scamadella. And McNulty harassing and harrying and trying to find a way past Ristadulu but can't. And the ball just spills kindly down to Aaron Naylor, who is keeping the clean sheet intact. I think the Gladesville bench is starting to count how many seconds the goalkeeper is holding on to here, trying to encourage the referee to pay a corner, but kicked away in the nick of time. Here's Moreno. Is going to shoot from distance and just wide to the right. And this time with the aid of a deflection. So Lexi Moreno wins a corner kick. UNSW will have a set-piece opportunity. Suspect that Gladesville has got the edge in terms of height and heading prowess. And Demi Koulizakis has a headed goal this season, so maybe she's the one they'll be aiming for here. Poppy Channing, one of the centre-backs, is forward. Where's Yamahata? She's there too. Corner hooked to the near post and cleared away by Scamadella. Christodoulou back to Plessis. A high cross this time over the head of Yamahata though, and cleared away by Murtagh. Only as far as Puxty. Puxty slices onto the head of Dashko. McNulty. Oh, misses Pepino with the pass. Kasakia's ball. Now Christodoulou. Back to Channing. Finds Koulizakis. Channing trying to avoid running herself into trouble and has Yamahata there in support. Yamahata maybe not so fortunate. She just gets the ball away. And now Koulizakis. It's going to roll along the halfway line. Roberts popping it forward. Yamahata only as far as Pepino. And now Murtagh. And the backtracking Kasakia is going to keep possession here. Naylor was charging out of her line, but Kasakia trusted herself to run it out of defence. And now with the aid of Puxty, it's up to the halfway line. Moreno. Plessis trying to break the lines, but Roberts backtracking. And now the ball is kicked high, and it's going to land right on the line and find its way out. And all of a sudden, we are up to the 70-minute mark of the game. Looks as though Gladesville are going to be next to act in terms of substitute activity. They seem to have told Kaylee Shannon, who scored in the under-23s earlier this afternoon, to walk up to the halfway line, so she might be the next player to enter the game. Another attacker. Here's Puxty. Moreno heard the clash of shoe on shoe as the ball was knocked away. So here comes a second sub of the game for Gladesville, and seemingly a first sub for UNSW as well. So Hannah McNulty is coming off here for Gladesville, and Kaylee Shannon, the number 17, is coming on, and Milan Hammond's number is up. And we'll just wait for the player to turn around and confirm that it is Jennifer Kokoris who is coming on here, but it does appear that it's her. Yep, number 21. Referee asking for exactly the same thing as commentator. So Kokoris comes on for Hammond, and Shannon comes on for McNulty. So both teams refreshing their wingers, bringing on fresh legs out wide for the last 20 minutes here. Here's Moreno. Down to the corner. and then lifts the ball on, asking for a handball, perhaps ambitiously. Roberts to Dashko. Deflected clearance, and Chloe Smith is going to trap it. Puxty, Moreno, Plessis, and now Kulizakis just lashes a right foot at the ball, and our camera right behind the trajectory of that shot as it had no bend and just continued straight on its way out. Here's Pepino. Steps around one, steps around two. Can she go all the way? Oh, she had Karmas on in the middle. Pepino shoots, and Karmas calling for the ball in the middle, waving the arms, slapping the sides. And Gisela Pepino draws a save out of Erin Naylor. But perhaps Karmas was on in the middle. And another chance goes begging. Plessis continues her duel with Roberts, gets across into the box, but it's only to the near post. Kilbride gets it away. Moreno from distance. Oh, and that one slightly closer. Moreno claiming a deflection, but well, 5 shots now, plus the free kick for Lexi Moreno, and still can't get one to go. I don't think Gladesville are really willingly giving her that shot from distance, though. She did score a double when these teams met last season. The ball bounces on here. Kasakia, is it going to get over the line for a goal kick? It is eventually. Free kick in midfield, and UNSW will get a chance to advance the ball. Long shot and flashing wide from Kulizakis. Oh, shots continue to be fired at will, but 15 minutes to go now and still no change to the score from the early exchanges of the game when we were still playing under sunlight when the opening goal went in for Chloe Smith. And free kick going against Kulizakis here for the trip on Karmas. In midfield. Murtagh. Cleared from the centre of defence. Off the chest of Scamadella. Has come roaming over to the right side, perhaps for the first time in the game. Ball to the edge of the box. Sliding off heads. Here's Kaylee Shannon leading the chase for the ball. And shoulder to shoulder. She'll do well to protect it here and ultimately bumped off it by Kokoris. Shannon back in. And it's going to find its way out to the line where Christodoulou has a more uncontested possession of the ball. Eventually it finds its way out. Pepino. Scamadella. Pepino. Now Sunaga. And the backtracking Kokoris has done well to win the ball away. Referee giving the get up signal. Definitely not give up, but get up. And here goes Kulizakis with a run forward. Just checking over the shoulder because Shannon was backtracking and had a little nibble at her. Couldn't take the ball. Here's Puxty. Leah Puxty's going to shoot. And the height was promising, but the direction was not. And it kept sliding wide to the left. Kasakia, Kulizakis, Plessis was hanging off the last defender. Flag stays down. Plessis on a tight angle and no power behind either, well, whether it was intentioned as a cross or a shot, it was just volunteered up into the gloves of Kent. Kilbride, Murtagh, Pepino. Look at the speed, often chasing down the right. Gisela Pepino. Spinning away from Aya Yamahata. And the through ball, a good one. And now Sunaga cuts it across. Karmas can't apply the finishing touch. Entangled by the backtracking Christodoulou. And it took the sting out of Karmas's attempt to finish. And just sat up for the goalkeeper to pluck it off the ground. And another good build-up there from the Gladesville Ravens, but they just can't put it in the net. Shannon ducking under the ball. Channing. Christodoulou. Yamahata. Kulizakis turning in midfield. Slides it through the left. Plessis stretching the defence again, but this time the ball, well, is it going to win? Right on the line. Plessis got there. Bowled over by Roberts. And the referee now blows the whistle. I think the decision was a free kick going Gladesville's way and a bit of push and shove in the aftermath. And those two have been running at each other and duelling for the entire game, but no willingness to go on with it for too long. Just one push each and then right back to focusing on the ball. Chloe Smith. Roberts able to make ground, but Yamahata taken away by Murtagh. Pepino back out to Murtagh on the right and hits it a little skinny, and it's catching practice in the end for Erin Naylor. She holds on to the ball. Well, the game is flying by. We are into the last 10 minutes of regulation now, and the score remains 1-0. Gladesville have been chasing for so long. Are they going to finally catch what they've been after? And that is a goal. Karmas engages two defenders out to the right where Roberts is totally unmarked. Roberts to the edge of the box. Karmas steps around, sends a shot, and it's blocked away by Yamahata. Right off the body. Great defending by Aya Yamahata, and it saves the day again for UNSW. Now at the other end, Chloe Smith wiped out after doing so well to keep the ball in by Keisha Allen. And that's a hard one throw in down at the other end of the ground, and that's where UNSW will be hoping to keep it for as many of these last 10 minutes as possible. So, subs coming. Lexi Moreno making way. And Sonali Singh is the player coming on here for Lexi Moreno. Great showing from Moreno, but just lacking the shot. 5 total shots in the game, but not able to find a goal with any of them. Foul by Kulizaka. She's arguing and arguing with the referee, but getting no change out of our whistleblower here. The protests just landing on unsympathetic ears. The free kick, though. Kasakia out to the right. Kokoris takes possession hard against the line. Jennifer Kokoris has got Singh on at the edge of the box. Uses her now. Sonali Singh. Back to Angelique Christodoulou. Able to cut around one defender. A deflected cross. Is that going to go out for a corner? It is. So UNSW keep it down in their attack. Koulizakis is still chewing the referee's ear off here, but getting no joy at all. So Plessis has had a few corners from this side in the second half. Most of them have attacked the near post or just come up a little bit short. Can she put this one right on the money? Plessis with the corner. Near post again and defended comfortably. Plessis gets a second time ball into the box, but through comes Karmas, heading on. Pepino caught in possession. Singh back to Koulizakis, and UNSW happy to concede some ground to reset here. Puxty sends it out to the right. Christodoulou slides the ball into the box. Kokoris challenging and wins another corner kick. UNSW keep it down in attack. Is it going to be more of the same from Plessis? Do they mix it up for a short corner? I think they might be going for a different corner taker, in fact. So it's going to be Koulizakis now heading over to the corner to take. So Demi Koulizakis with a corner now. Taking it right-footed from the right side. Right, landing right on the line, and a good catch by the goalkeeper, Kent. No one is breaking, really. Now Kaylee Shannon goes, and that's where the ball is steered. Shannon watches it bounce over the shoulder, takes possession. Sunaga touching it on. Pepino, no one to cross to. She's going to go herself or wait here. Pepino, little drag step on the ball. Now support arrives. Murtagh right into the traffic. Christodoulou back to Naylor. Lots of trust in the goalkeeper and able to clear it away. Off the back of Chloe Smith's head. Here's Dashko running into Sonali Singh. And Singh wins the free kick. Into the last 5 minutes of regulation now. Gladesville getting ready to make one more change. Laura Murtagh leaves the game on our camera side of the pitch. So the sub will be running on. Looks like Brianna Buccini is coming on late here to try and send Morgan Roberts. Yep, they're going to release Roberts into the forward line and put Buccini on at right back, where Roberts had been playing for the entirety of the game so far. Christodoulou. Deflected cross, shouts for handball, but it's outside the penalty area against Dashko, so a free kick in a dangerous position. Might lend itself to a direct shot on goal, but Lexi Moreno, the left footer, is not out there anymore, so I don't think Leah Puxty with her left foot is going to come up and take, and Georgia Plessis, who has been taking the corners left-footed, seemingly not tempted by this opportunity here. So Christodoulou, who won the free kick, is going to take it with 2 in the wall regardless. Even though it's a right footer on the right side, it's going to be 1 in the wall. So Christodoulou takes the free kick, looping Two-handed away by the goalkeeper. Plessis. Back to Chloe Smith. Smith turning at the edge of the box. Driving and getting a deflection off Koulizakis, and it bounced out for a goal kick. Time very much the enemy here for Gladesville. They're trying. They've turned it into a real end-to-end second half, but amazingly there has been no addition to the half-time score. Puccini takes the throw in. Down the line. Koulizakis. Sideways ball. It's dragging Scamadella up the pitch, and she's wiped out Christodoulou here. And a free kick given against the left back, and Angelina Scamadella is going to become the second player to receive a yellow card in the game. She joins Sky Kasakia in the referee's book. Sonali Singh trying to reconnect with Jennifer Kokoris, and Scamadella straight back to work after the tackle that gave away the card. Taking the throw in from left back here. Christodoulou. Singh. Christodoulou stepping around. And the ball deflects out. How many minutes of stoppage will we get at the end of the night? It's been a really brisk game. We've had hardly any time lost to subs, to injuries, or even just to the ball being out of play. Christodoulou. And the ball over the line. UNSW have been able to keep the ball down at their attacking end for a lot of the last 10 minutes here. Aerial duel at halfway. Koulizakis gets up. Dashko at ground level. Scamadella cleared by Christodoulou. Dashko holds the ball up. It'll roll on to Kent, who rolls it immediately back out to Annie Dashko. Yamahata up for the header. Kasakia. Only seconds of regulation to go. Sky Kasakia. Is it too early for UNSW to think about going to the corner? Well, they can't here. They're being forced backwards. Channing. All the way back to Naylor. Naylor with a long clearance. Kilbride. Keisha Allen. And just popped it into midfield where Koulizakis takes the ball. Demi Koulizakis. And now Plessis may be inclined to go to the corner here. Physical defending coming from Kilbride. And the ball hard against the line, and it finds its way out. Central referee getting over and making the call that it is UNSW possession. And Plessis has gone and planted herself in the corner here, so are they going to successfully wind the clock? Koulizakis takes every second allowed, and now shenanigans begin. Down in the corner. Thrown again, UNSW's way. A lot's got to go right for Gladesville here. They've left 3 players forward, but UNSW have left 4 back. They need to win the ball, get it out of the corner, and get it going upfield, and they just can't at the moment. It's death by 1,000 cuts for the visiting team. They are trapped. 3 throw-ins in a row down in the corner now. Singh called for the ball. Bit of ground conceded here. Singh plays it to Yamahata, stepping out of defence. Now Kokoris. Kokoris shoots, blocked away by Sunaga. And is this just the window of opportunity that Gladesville need? Kaylee Shannon from the left sideline, and the ball slides out. It's another UNSW throw. Referee insisting the throw-in be taken a bit closer to the halfway line. So Christodoulou will come up with the ball and take the throw-in. Pepino, Koulazakis out into space for Puxty. Puxty playing it to Plessis. And Plessis again, thoughts on just holding the ball up right next to the sideline. And Buccini puts it out for a throw-in. There can only be seconds left now. We're up to 3 minutes of stoppage time completed. Ball finds its way out. Referee's got the whistle in the mouth. No, not quite. Pointing for another throw-in. We're halfway into a 4th minute of stoppage time now. But UNSW managing this quite well. They've starved the Ravens of the ball. They've starved them of a chance just to launch it forward. Singh concedes a bit of ground. Yamahata is there. Running down to the corner again and finding its way out for a throw-in. Now or never for Gladesville. Everything's got to go right from here. Dashko going backwards, conceding a bit of ground, daring the referee to blow the full-time whistle, and indeed it sounds. And so the near-perfect start to the season for University of New South Wales continues. They pick up another win. They've only dropped points once so far this campaign, and it puts them in an excellent position heading into the clash next Sunday against Apia, which will be first versus second. 6 wins and 1 draw, 18 goals scored and just 4 conceded for UNSW this season. It may have been hair-raising at times in defence tonight, but the clean sheet intact as well. And it is the 4th time in 7 games they've kept a clean sheet this campaign. The only goal came in the first half from Chloe Smith, her 4th of the season. And despite the best efforts of the Gladesville Ravens, they just couldn't find a decisive moment and hit the back of the net themselves. So thank you for your company tonight on the Football New South Wales YouTube channel. And we will see you next week for that blockbuster clash between Apia and UNSW on Sunday. That is something to look forward to. In the meantime, I'm Teo Pellizzeri. Thanks for your company. We leave you with the full-time score here at the Village Green of University of New South Wales 1, Gladesville Ravens 0. Good night.